a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Arizona Cardinals. Here's a punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. 22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. Turnable, it's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Detroit! On first down, it's Rosen. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll go down at the 28. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. On 2nd down, Johnson. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On second down, Rosen. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
If I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he does it to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
This will be taken very short. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Breeze to throw on second down. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Clay Matthews. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Play action. Breeze. Flush to his right. And not wanting to take a shot out of the pocket, he tucks it and goes down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and the line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Let's go!
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And down he'll go at the 25. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. So he got 9 yards that time, but he needed 10, and it brings up 4th and 1. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. This will be fielded at the 17. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On play action, now Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 29.
Now, that play will end up on the... You won't see the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
Back up, Philly, here we go. They go play action here on 1st down. Dumping it off for Johnson. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Rosen. Going to throw deep for the end zone. Oh, it's It's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. In his own end zone, it's Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Jamar Taylor will be credited with the tackle.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Now Breeze lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And that's caught by Smith. A good pickup there of 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Hassan Reddick, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Shotgun now for Breeze. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Hassan Reddick in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. On the return is Peterson. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. So out now come the Cardinals. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive,
and he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Green 39. Gone.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at first and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Rosen to throw on third down. Looking for Macklin, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from the desert after this. Here's Rosen to throw. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Cardinals are in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback with the deflection if you miss, like, they've got his man complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Breeze now on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Gibson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives. So a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator is a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the...
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Rosen will throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. And the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. He'll return it from the 6. Able to spin free. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Oh, wide open, complete. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Now Breeze. Now Breeze wants the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. The final shot before half for Breeze. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints have moved out in front. And his kick is right through. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Get set.
They fake the give. Here's Breeze. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Robert Kindici in there to get him his second sack now in the afternoon. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. To throw is Breeze. That's caught by Meredith right side. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
11 more on that one and another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Breeze to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
On the move to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On second down, Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. From the gun on third down, Breeze. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. And not only did he not get in the end zone, he didn't get the first down either. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. On first down, it's Rosen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Rosen to throw on second down. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And mark him down at the 39. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. This quarterback now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. Off the play fake, here's Rosen. Underneath for Johnson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 10 more there and another first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. On second down, here's Rosen. And this will be incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Third and long here for Rosen. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Arizona. And it's taken in at the 9. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Chandler Jones in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing on first down is Breeze. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again. That'll bring up second down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They go play action here on first down. Now Breeze lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Breeze throwing on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A very solid gain of 27. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion. Beat Andy Roddick, the future U.S. Open champion, back when they were in the juniors. I think that footwork.
And that's caught inside the 35. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Breeze leads this one with Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And Lutz's kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This will be fielded at the 6. good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't get...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. And when you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Hey, easy. Hey, easy. One shot. One shot.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. On play action. Now Breeze. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts him in a pretty good... And he's taken down here by the Saints.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And now it's Rosen looking. He may try and run for this. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
39.
Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. Flushed out right. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Ken Crowley. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A give. This is Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. The open man is Smith, and he's going to get this inside the 30. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
The tackle there by Patrick Peterson.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a play fake. Breeze. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Larry Ogunjobi with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Shotgun now for Breeze. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Breeze to throw on 2nd down. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The Saints on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 14. Now a pitch out to Kamara. And some space here. The 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. John Simon in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Bree's going to throw here. And he's going to go down again. The son Reddick getting him once again. His third sack of the afternoon. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. They fake the give. Here's Breeze. Smith catches left side. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's first and goal. Now Breeze. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1 yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time. Second and goal. Second and goal from the 1. They'll run it with Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it third and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for New Orleans, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Pockets lettuce. Don't think I'm ready. You got that swag. You got that salt, then sell it. Free mind. Cash amount, we bellin'. Saw my teacher, I was the same student felon. Now I got a lawyer, straight cash, no settlement. I'm out my element, out my element. My the same, don't need no clout, no fame. Bought the game, all brand new chain. Ice, swerve the lane, call the group the gang. Whip that thing, whip it, this shit give me. Ooh, yeah. Them boys fool you trying to do it, bring the don't want no, they pull up with they It's times three, this how it go. Park $1 million at the we gon' make 'em eat that until we go. Eat it up. Rich straight to the top floor. More PJs than PJs. Rich like water, go to Cabo. Flash. Cash in the walls, hollow. Cash. Your money too small, micro. Hunch up on the call, gotta. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers.
Ice the game, had to ice the game. So much ice, too much, had to ice the lane. Freeze the dust, had to freeze the lane. Freeze, camera phone. Turn your lights off. We been on. Came from my block and growed up, guess I'm homegrown, well known. That is my cologne. I put my wrist inside the freezer, came out froze. Ice. I put my heart inside, cause I was chose. I put my heart inside and only God knows. Yeah, the clinics for that baby, wipe this nose. I wipe this nose. What's a leg with till they explode? Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in. Deported out.